love this movie because, well, for me, having worked on this for the last 10 years, it's just knowing these people and getting to become friends with them, and greatly admiring people like Tom, and you know, in particular the people who have lived in Bristol Bay for millennia. The reason that we're having this fight now is because you've been such incredible stewards of this place. It still works, and that's a tribute to the people who live there. And you know, that's why I got involved in the first place, and that's why I'm hoping that all of you will head upstairs and make sure you grab postcards and tell everybody about this, because it's, you know, we're doing it for the folks who live out there.
Hi, I'm Michael Dimin. My company is Seat to Table, and what we do is we work with fishermen all around the United States, and we ship their catch directly from where it lands to chefs all around the United States. And I love this film also. I found it very sad but hopeful, and I really kind of enjoyed the perspective, and it was a pleasure to see.
And I'm Tom Douglas. I have restaurants in Seattle, and I love this film because I went one day when this guy asked me if I would give him free food he was going to ask people for money, and instead of giving him just free food, I ended up writing him the largest check of the evening. I believe that night. I don't know if it ended up that way or not, but I really think part of what gets lost in this conversation is the commercial aspect of salmon. This is something that we serve every day in our restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is a piece of the fabric of our lives, and it is like that wonderful salmon speaks to us. It is a returnable resource if it's handled correctly, and I just think it needs it's not just about saving. Because sometimes we're like, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. You should eat this. This is a good thing to eat, and because it's part of the process for this fishery. So.
I'm Mark. I make films and made this one, and thanks for coming. And I'll let John continue on the process here, the journey. Open it up to questions.
Okay, so a quick question for each panelist, and then we'll open it up to questions. We're going to do this in kind of a linear way here. So first for Tom. Tom, I read your opinion piece in the Bristol Bay Times, and you mentioned at the end that one of the most important elements is that we're actually writing the story right now, the narrative. And I wanted to ask you what your version of the ending of this story is. What would you, if you could write it, what would be the ending?
If I could rewrite that story, right now on my boat, I have my 2 grandsons and a granddaughter and my son fishing with me. And if I could rewrite that story, their grandsons, their granddaughters would also be fishing in the future. And that's how I'd rewrite that story. That's how it would continue. Because as Yupikes goes, that